How does Elizabeth fit into the Christmas story?
Well, Elizabeth is a cousin, and she lives just outside Jerusalem in one of the little towns, and she is married to Zechariah, who is a priest in the temple. So the way the priesthood worked was that the ordinary middle or lower ranking priests lived in the villages and towns away from Jerusalem, and they would come into town when it was their turn to minister, to burn incense, whatever it was, to offer sacrifice. And so she is being a faithful priest's wife and grieving because she hasn't had a child. And in that world, a married woman who didn't have a child, the assumption was that God has cursed you for some reason or other.
Which is quite sad, isn't it?
It's hugely sad. It's hugely sad.
They thought like that.
But you know, many people still to this day, when bad things happen to people, somebody says, what did you do to deserve that? And of course, the whole book of Job is written to say that's not actually how it works. But life is mysterious. Anyway, so an angel comes and tells Zechariah, your wife's going to have a child, and they're old, so this is highly unlikely. So Zechariah goes back home, and obviously Elizabeth does conceive, and this is extraordinary. She's far too old to have a child, but it's happening. And so she has been faithful, and then when the angel goes and tells Mary, you're going to be the mother of the Messiah, part of the confirmatory package is, by the way, your kinswoman Elizabeth has just conceived in old age. Nothing is impossible for God. So Mary heads off to see Elizabeth, and Elizabeth welcomes her, and the baby in her womb, John the Baptist, leaps for joy at the sound of Mary's voice. I remember vividly when our various children were still in the womb, certain things which made them leap and dance and jump about, which is very uncomfortable for the mother who hasn't yet given birth to them. But it's a kind of sign something is going on here. I remember one of our children, we went to see a performance of Godspell, and this was one of our daughters who was, I think, sort of -2 months at the time. And the last great song at the end of Godspell, this little child was bopping around inside. Mackie was sort of holding on. But there's a sort of sense of exuberance, of celebration happening. And Elizabeth is the one, quite literally, in whom that celebration is happening, because John the Baptist is recognizing the voice of the mother of the Messiah, and he is going to be the one who will say, Jesus is the coming one.